It's incredible. It's unbelievable. Look at the celebrations there. What a turnaround here this afternoon.
Welcome to Rangers Radio.
What a goal by Steely, followed that up, and whoop, in it goes.
Why not give the show a call on 01413561972.
Rangers up in the scoring, after Tawdry, 12 minutes of the match remaining. A stunner from Kenny Miller, rifles it into the roof of the net.
Or send Fox a friend request on Skype at Rangers Radio Online.
He's gone into the middle, McSwegan's in there too. Will he come for McSwegan? There's his header, and he scores! What a substitution! Running inside, is he gonna let flies in? He scores! Good ball! Scores for Rangers!
Nacho Lobo with one kick of the ball to take Rangers to Manchester.
Rangers are coming! The Scots are heading for Manchester, and you know what? Manchester may not be big enough.
Remember, it's all about the Rangers.
Well, hello, good evening and welcome. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Joining myself, Fox, here on the panel this evening is the one and only Bridgeman and Big Ulster. How are we doing, gentlemen?
Can I say a big good evening to the boys on the panel and a big good evening to the guys in the lobby and a huge good evening to all the Rangers fans all over the world. Good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio.
Oh, I don't think I'll be able to match Bridge, so I'll just say hello, everybody.
See, sometimes less is more, Ulster. Sometimes less is more.
This is it.
Yeah. The big question on everybody's lips, Bridge. Where is Ibrox Loyal?
Exactly. Where is he?
That's
what I want to know.
Somebody told me he started a new job with KFC on Saturday. That's all.
He's lost with the chickens then, is he? He's lost along with the chickens.
I'm missing him. I'm missing my mucker. It's not quite the same without him, is it, Ulster?
Well, we're not getting the percentages, are we? We're only getting rough figures when we ask for something.
Yes, hurry up. I don't want to be put in that predicament again. Get back on here, Ibrox. Get your job done.
Brilliant.
Oh, hope he's all right. I
He'll
hope
be
he's not.
fine.
Yeah, aye.
That young lassie, the new one he's got, she'll be looking after him for sure. She'll be looking after him.
It's quite serious, I think. Anyway, hopefully we'll hear from Brooks because we're all worried about him, aren't we? Or we concerned about him.
Absolutely. Yep.
So we're starting to build up to the Hearts match now. Bridge, we're like a broken record.
Oh, it's the same in nearly every game. You know, some folk listen to it, if not all the folk listen to this must think, what a moaner that is. Seriously, I get so excited because the Rangers and know about our club, and we just want us to be near as close to back to best that we can get given the situations. But my goodness gracious, every single game that we're coming across is massive for us. In the greatest sense of the word, it's massive. I mean, if we win on Saturday, then we know that gives us a wee chance to stay level. Let's put it that way from where we are. And is it then that them across the city and the Sheep they're playing this weekend, are they?
I mean, if we win on Sunday, we're sitting before they
Saturday
play,
we're playing, isn't it? It's Saturday.
We won on Saturday before they play on Sunday. There's 6 points between us and the leaders, and 3 points behind Aberdeen. So we're in a bit of a no-lose situation. But Ulster, first and foremost, we've got to win at Ibrox.
We have to win at Ibrox. Yes, that's it. You know, we've had chances in the past to maybe take advantage when we've got the opportunities, and we haven't done. That's point one. And point two is we haven't been that great at Ibrox, result-wise anyway. So this is what we have to take the wee checklist and check both these things off. Win at Ibrox and take the advantage that's been handed to us. So it's up to us now to do it. And I think if we can win at Ibrox, and I think we can, but if we do it, I think that may take that wee bit of doubt that's in the players' minds as well, and you could maybe see a strong team, hopefully, from now on at Ibrox.
Bridgman, can you put your finger on what the problem is?
At Ibrox?
Yes.
I think the players that we had for the first half of this season so far, they seem to kind of switch off at times at Ibrox. Possibly trying too hard. But, I mean, we were given some lessons, to be perfectly honest with you. Some of the teams actually took us apart. And you think to yourself, are we ever going to get it right at Ibrox? But this team and the players that we've got at our disposal, I'm hoping that this team are starting to gel, and we should see. We know playing at Ibrox, if we can play at pace, then they're in with a shout. And this team seemed to play at pace. Obviously, we're going to end up back at the same problems we've had for a while. Is our defence really strong enough? Let's hope it is, and we can keep everything out. And if the midfield live up to the reputation that we've been gaining and our attackers, we shouldn't have any trouble. But again, we're back to that shouldn't. And we're at Ibrox, and there's a 50,000 crowd, and we're all dying to be pleased, didn't we? Everyone is. And really and truly, Rangers, please give us a performance and a result. That's what we're looking for.
We're not looking for much, Ulster, are we? 3 points.
Just looking for 3 points. Exactly.
Can you put your finger on what the problem is, apart from you coming out the
I was going to say, some would put it solely down to me, or our club, should I say. But, well, at the start, I sort of assumed maybe it was the support, where support can get on the players' back sometimes. And I maybe thought there was a bit of that in it, but at the Hibs game, the atmosphere was fantastic, even when we did go a goal down. The support, that's probably one of the best I've seen Ibrox in a long time. So the support had backed them, and then again, obviously, we didn't get the result we were looking for. But I'm not too sure what it is. I think sometimes if you go on these bad runs, maybe it's just something in the mentality. I don't know, but it's something we need to put right, And I think as long as Mr. Murray and the management team gets it across to the team, what a big opportunity they have here, and we have to grasp it with both hands to get ourselves 6 points. All right, there may be a game in hand for the team across the city, but the main thing is getting the points on the board. And if we can get 6 points behind, I think we can go on the ascendancy from there.
I really can't put my finger on it either, because we've had different kinds of performances. We've had the one with the drama against Hibs at the start of the season when we lost because of the circumstances. Then we drew nothing each with Hearts. We've lost to Hamilton, we've lost to St Johnstone, we've lost to Hibs again, we've lost to Celtic. And Hamilton and St Johnstone ones were the big defeats for me, the ones that are really points thrown away, because we beat them quite easily in their own back garden, Bridgman.
We did, pal. Absolutely. We shouldn't have any fears. We're doing quite well away from home. All the problems to be. We have a distinct problem, and even one of the big games we had the last time we played at Ibrox against Hibs. It's just bamboozling. Let me put it that way. It's bamboozling.
I think we should have won that. I think we should have won that game in all, Bridge, if I'm being really honest. We went down in 1-0 down at half time. Who's doing the typing? We were in 1-0 down. Weren't great, but Hibs had a couple of chances. They weren't great neither. We should have scored before they scored. In the second half, I thought it was one-way traffic, and we done enough to win the match. The first game against the Hibs at Ibrox, I think it was just circumstances. But again, I'll go to Ulster. The Hamilton and St Johnstone ones were very, very sore to take.
They were. And I think the thing that annoyed me the most with that is that I give any team their dues if they play well, but I don't think St Johnstone especially had to play well to beat us. I don't think St Johnstone were that great. We were just very, very poor, and St Johnstone took advantage of that. A bit like Hamilton, we dominated the game, couldn't get the goal, and Hamilton took their chances, but we weren't. It wasn't as if we were being dominated. We just didn't do the right things. But since then, we have gotten a lot more quality in the team, and they are starting to gel together. You can see that in recent games. So we can't blame too many of the players on those results. But going forward, I think we all agree, if we're going to be realistic of putting any kind of a title chance across from this season or in the seasons to come, you cannot be dropping points to St Johnstone teams like St Johnstone and Hamilton at Ibrox, that has to be finished with, and we need to make Ibrox a fortress that we know it can be.
That's exactly what we need.
Yeah, you're spot on there, mate. Is there anything worrying you? I mean, obviously, we're looking at 2 different managers now with Kachina and then Graham Murty being in charge. Is there anything you can put your hand on the setup or the tactics of the team, Bridge?
No, I think our manager's doing quite well, to be perfectly honest with you. I think he's learning. I said, at sometime the tail end of last season, he needs to do things a bit quicker, make his substitutions at different times, but he's obviously ignored my thoughts. Maybe he's mind reading me, and he's just ignoring me. But I would like to see our substitutes given a far more time on the pitch. That's the only thing I would like. But look, we can't take too much away from the man. His team selection has been pretty good, and he's scored 11 goals have we scored in the last, you know what I mean, 11 goals in 2 games. It's amazing. It's great to watch.
Anything for you, Ulster?
Well, yeah, I think, for a start, we were playing Windass. Pedro was playing Windass in the wrong position. He was playing them out in the wide position where we all could see that it wasn't happening for him. I think Mr. Murray's seen that, and he's obviously looked at his strengths, and he thinks his best strengths is playing just behind the striker. And to be fair to him, he's bagging in the goals. He does, he's got something to his game now at times we didn't think he could have had, but it just shows switching the position up how different it can be for him. I think the same thing with Candias. He's got him doing work rate behind and helping Tavernier when Tavernier's attacking. They help each other out. He's obviously then brought in Murphy, who's doing the exact same job. Well, for a start, he's a better attacker than what Windass was on that left side. And also he tracks back and does the work and helps Declan and John out. So I think that's been tactical changes. It's worked for us, definitely.
All right, if people want to join us, what's the number, Ulster? That'll be 0141356 1972. Where else can they join us, Bridge?
Well, they can join us on Skype at rangersradio.online. Just send a friend request if required, and Fox will bring you in. He'll look after you.
All right. I think we've been joined by our first call of the evening, and it is Ibrox Loyal.
Hello.
All right, gentlemen.
It's the lover.
Nice to hear your dulcet tones.
It's the lover.
I take it that's you on holiday for KFC tonight then?
It is, mate, aye. I took a few weeks off after that chicken cook incident, so...
That was on. You were unlucky starting in charge of the logistics in KFC on Saturday there. How are you doing, mate? All right?
I'm doing well. Good to hear you again.
Oh, we've lost Bridge, but we've also been joined by True Blue, who knows all about finger looking good. How are we doing, True?
I've been here for an hour.
Well, things have changed, mate.
Welcome back, Ibrox. How's the love life?
It's okay, mate.
This could take an hour.
You've been conspicuous by your absence.
Aye, she had a wee sickness bug, mate, early weekend that, so I was looking after her, so...
Hold on, I'm going to be sick.
Don't you start, I've done enough of that for a couple of days.
Were you looking after her? What were you doing for her, pal?
That just keeping her company that while her ma was basically nursing her back to health, so she's all well now, mate. She's at the back end of it now, so...
What likes her ma?
I'm not answering that question, mate. I'm not getting stuck with that one. I've been stuck with that one before, no chance.
Fox will let you know.
Always looking for an opportunity, or True, isn't he?
Why not?
We were discussing the problem at getting results at Ibrox, lads, and I'll go to you first, True Boy, because my form at Ibrox has been poor.
It's been terrible. Terrible, mate. I'm no one for ifs and maybes and buts and all the rest of it, but the games we threw away there you're mentioning, things could have been so different. I'm hoping that the influx of some players with the right stock will make a difference at Ibrox. I think they know you've got to go out there, and perform, you've got to make Ibrox a stronghold, you've got to have teams coming to Ibrox and fearing coming to Ibrox. The other thing is, I would like to say is, I think their team makes a multitude of chances at the minute, and I think if we take them, we'll be more than happy after the game. That's the way I see it at the minute.
I mean, the two Hibs games that we lost had the circumstances behind it. The Celtic game, we didn't play well. The Hearts game, we drew nothing each. We had enough chances to win the match. But the two ones that have really stuck my throat is Dundee and, St Johnstone and Hamilton at Ibrox, you know, and that was real 6 points thrown away, you know.
It's an enigma. I don't know why they seem to be underperforming at Ibrox. I mean, you're going there, you've got that massive support, massive backing, but then again, it's a double-edged sword. If things are not going right, the crowd are no slow to let you know. Oxshare, you know, and it's not everybody that can handle that. I always say that on here. If somebody's having a bad game, the worst thing you can do is go on their back, because I don't know MD it's going to make them play better. I really don't. And I think that's maybe part of the problem as well. Some of them can't handle it. You know yourself.
Jersey too heavy. Jersey too heavy. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I don't know so much, mate. You know, you talk about you're only as good as your last game. See, at Ibrox, you're only as good as your last pass, mate. You know. A couple of bad passes in a row and you're peltered, you know.
Doesn't matter, you've just scored 2 goals.
Aye, I know, that's the thing, you know.
Tough crowd.
Oh, aye, tough crowd. I think I can understand it. I think the Rangers support and what we've been through in these last few years and everything else, we're desperate to do well. We really are. We find ourselves in a situation now where we're practically building a new team again. We've got a stand-in manager, you know, and it says a lot. You know, I think it questions this genius status they're putting on him across the city, you know. I think they're starting to get a wee bit of doubt creeping in about him now and all, you know.
Can I come in on that?
Especially, I'm just going to go to Ibrox, mate.
Right, okay, pal, no bother.
You've been in and out, everything sorted, mate.
It just fell out. It kept falling over there, so I do apologise.
All right, you back in, all right, everything okay?
Aye, cool, yeah.
All right, Ibrox, have you any thoughts on the circumstances, why we're not being great at home?
I mentioned this a week ago, mate, when we spoke a wee bit about this. I think it's something within, obviously, the players' psyches, mate, that there's a wee bit of fear and trepidation at times. A bit like True was saying, if you make 2 or 3 bad passes, the crowd really get behind the players' backs. I'm famous for doing it myself, so I'm not trying to say it against the fans, because they are all great and they deserve the players playing their best every single week, every single minute, especially at Ibrox in front of 50,000 every other week. But you can just see it sometimes in the players' eyes, there's a wee bit of scaredness creeping in when the crowd's really getting on their backs. And it seems to lift that much more when they're away from home, and they seem to be able to relax and play to their best abilities, and they're winning games. And we've noticed in the last 2 away performances now, as Bridge says, that's us scored 11 goals now, and we're creating lots and lots and lots of chances. And the biggest majority of them we are taking now. I take you back to one of the games you were talking about, the Hamilton game at Los Ibrox. I think we had, was it 20 shots in the first hour or the first half or something, that could have actually won the game 5 or 6-0. And I think a few of the defenders just slipped off at certain moments of the game and allowed them in to score their 2 goals. I think, unfortunately, one was young McCrory, who tried to force the ball back to the keeper and never saw the player running in, and obviously Templeton ran onto it. But I think just a wee bit of fear and trepidation, mate, and I'm sure it will lift, and hopefully it lifts for this Saturday, because, as we always say, this is one of the most important games of the season. So,
Bridgeman?
Yeah, Ibrox is right there. It's a really important game. Like, maybe as fans, we're putting pressure that isn't warranted. We might be putting pressure on ourselves as fans, which in turn is maybe echoing onto the pitch there, and the fact that players maybe feel it in the nerves and so on and so forth. Because we have to admit, we are very nervous. as True Blue said, we're just desperate to do well. Absolutely desperate. We're desperate to win. We're desperate to start showing the world that we're coming back. We're on our way back. 55's not that far away. That kind of. We're desperate to show all that, and we want just desperate to stop this and all other teams' negativity towards us. We want to be able to go out and show what we're made of. And sometimes that might just be showing to the players, and maybe they're playing like that as well. I do say, and I'm going to urge caution, Mr. Windass, do not do that again. If you score goals at Ibrox, don't do that to the fans. You're only digging a big hole for yourself. So that's all I can say.
What are you talking about? The shush?
Shushing. I don't like that happening. No, I don't like it happening. I don't mind them doing it. Don't do it to the opposition fans.
Since he's done that, you think he scored?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
He scored 8 goals or something.
That's right. I'm very happy with him. He's a smashing player. I've said it all along. He's got a bit of gallus about him as well, and he's really good. He's really good running. He runs direct sometimes, and I like that. I just don't like that kind of thing to happen at Ibrox. So it's just me. It's just me. And maybe other fans, maybe some of the boys in the lobby think the same as me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too old and grumpy. I just don't like to see that.
I wouldn't call you old.
Oh boy.
Big Ulster. And then we'll go to True. Has the managerial situation been an issue in this forum? Because I think my manager the first half of the season should have never have got the job, and I think I've been consistent in that. Was that a factor for you?
That could be a factor, yeah. Could have been. Things weren't going right for us, and then that's sort of sometimes when you get yourself in a rut like that, it's hard to shake yourself out of it, But it's strange because we have been very good at home, even under Pedro in the league. We done well at home, but I think I'm not making excuses for the team at home. But I mean, sometimes I think the luxuries that other past players have had that this team hasn't had is, you've always had great players at Ibrox. 9 times out of 10, anyway, you've had players there who know what it means to play at Ibrox, get the atmosphere, have been there for a long time. So when you get new players in to the squad, the other players around them can look after them and sort of, if they make a few mistakes, talk them through the game and give them the experiences. Whether we're in a situation that we have very few players, who know what it means to win every single game at Ibrox. And when you get new players in with the same team, you're stuck in a bit of a rut there. So hopefully that changes for us. Though I think players like some of the Rangers supporters who we've got in the team now recently over the last transfer window, they know what the demands are. So hopefully that goes a long way in helping change the attitude, and instead of looking like a feared team, we'll look like a team that should be feared at home rather than being the team that looks with a bit of fear in us.
I'm just gonna run past the team when we last played Hearts True Blue, if that's all right with you.
Go ahead, Nate.
Right, it was Wes in goal, and then we had Cardozo, Alves, Lee Wallace and James Tavernier were the fullbacks. Midfield, Windass, Candias, Ryan Jack, Graham Dorrans, Miller and Morelos up front. So I would say Ryan Jack, Graham Dorrans, Kenny Miller, Lee Wallace, Bruno Alves and Cardozo might not be playing on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
You had substitutes of Ryan Hardy, who's away on loan, Jordan Rosser, who I believe get crocked again. It was a bad tackle on him on his ankle.
Oh dear.
That boy can't catch a break. Lee Hodgson, Alwick, Cranchar and Penner were the subs. So the whole, if you take that 17, mate, there's maybe as much as Ryan Hardy, Jordan Rossiter, Nico might not be on the bench, Penner and the other 5 players. There's about 9 of them will not even be involved in Saturday. That's some transformation.
Aye. For me, see the whole you're asking about the managerial thing and the impact that had, I think it's been massive. Again, with the players, if you look at the players we've had injured in the last wee while, they could all be practically first-team picks. You look at that, you look at new players coming in, I just wonder where we could have been, I really do. I don't think him across the city's any kind of magician whatsoever, the way they're holding him up. Maybe I think with another season in us, we'll be well challenging them come Saturday. we've got to be doing it, and we've been arguing about consistency. It was that bad there earlier on. We were talking about winning 3 games in a row. It's got to be done now. I'm not getting too carried away with the, obviously with the level of the opposition in the last couple of games, but we're winning these games now. That's the difference. It was interesting when we went 1 down there. The Heats didn't go down, they seemed to step it up a gear and get back into the game pretty quickly. And of course won it convincingly. So I think Oxshare, you're dead right. The whole change of personnel, the change of manager. But I think the present guy, I think Mr. Murton, in a kind of perverse sort of way, has took the pressure off a wee bit. I don't know how you look at the players that's come in, they're all low knees. You look at the manager who's a stand-in. I think there's a lot of uncertainty there, but with that as well, that can take the pressure off sometimes.
All right, we've also been joined by Fox. Fox has come in. How we doing, Fox?
Oh, how we doing?
How we doing, mate? You obviously all the home games, and is there anything you can put your finger on about this bad run of form?
At home, mate,
yes.
For me, it's down there. There's no fear for opposing sides coming to Ibrox, mate. I think earlier on the players thought they were better than they were. They didn't give respect to these teams, mate. They're run out the park where the Rangers feared opposition died about 3 or 4 years ago, mate, when we had to completely rebuild. McMurty got a lot of stick for the games at Ibrox, but he was trying to turn their squad round after the experiment at Pedro went drastically wrong, mate. I think a lot of the players in the squad back then thought they were good enough to win, but didn't put enough into the game to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
I think under the new jurisdiction of Murray and Stevie what's his name? God, his name's out of my head, didn't it? Jimmy Nicholl and Jonathan Johansson, they're beginning to get a wee bit of consistency. And we keep going on about consistency. There's not a single team in that SPL this season has had any consistency. Not even the Tims, mate. Hardly any of them has won 4 games in a trot. And if you usually want to win the league, mate, you're talking about going on a 15 to 20 run game to win a league. It's really been hard for us since we never got after the greatest of starts with Pedro, but we've clawed it back, mate. We're still in with a chance, and that's what I want to see. As long as we're in with a chance of winning it, I'll be happy.
We've also been joined by Alan63. Evening, Al.
Evening, guys. How you doing?
How you doing, Al?
How we doing, mate? What's on your mind, mate?
Well, I was going to answer your question.
On you go, mate. Carry on.
And the full question was what? Why do our players...
What problems at Ibrox? The results, Al, it's there to be seen, isn't it? There's a problem, isn't there?
Aye. I'll tell you what it is.
Go on then. I'm
players,
waiting anxiously for this.
The players are scared, mate. And it's their own fans at fault. The players, you've got to imagine that the big onus in playing with Rangers and other big clubs, it's playing in front of the fans in a big atmosphere. And if you could just imagine being on that park and doing a couple of stray passes, and you start hearing all the sighs and the moaning, and if you're anywhere near the sidelines, you'll hear the swearing and the name calling and all the rest that goes along with it, and how duff you are and waste the money, etc. And these things have all got to be taken into account. If our fans were actually turning up to games to back the players the same way as I keep hearing in away games, then I think all our players would all rise to it. I think it would lift them all. And if they do a bad pass or that, don't worry about it. You're there to win the game and it lasts for 90 minutes. No, if somebody's running about and it's maybe, say, a Kenny Miller, he's meant to be a striker that day, or a accompanying striker, and he's back in your right back position, by all means, give him as much hell as you want, because he deserves it then. But if a guy's trying hard, or maybe trying too hard, as I said, that wee guy Doherty, and before him Murphy there, Murphy's kind of turned the corner, Doherty's still to do so, but again, he's going to need game time. That's what I think's wrong. I think it's our own fans for too quick to go in players' backs. And
is it the lack of atmosphere or the negative atmosphere now?
I say negative.
All right, okay. Well, I'll maybe take that around the panel, mate. But we've also been joined by Usher Bear. Usher Bear, how are you doing, mate? Any KFCs open during your way?
Well, funnily enough, I actually went for a KFC on Sunday. I thought
You're joking.
You must have been the last
game. Have you still got it?
Well, no, it was shut. It was on at St Enoch's and it had a sign outside saying there was like technical difficulties, so I was assuming.
Have you got rid of it? Have you thrown it away? It'll be worth a lot of money, that.
That was the one at Ibrox started on Saturday.
I've been trying to get some in the black market, but no success.
Oh, it's murder. Don't say that.
What's on your mind, Bear?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I was just kind of phoning in about what you were talking about there. I'll tell you what.
Carry on, mate. Give your thoughts.
We're not getting any results at Ibrox. It's if you remember, it was about 4 games into the season, and Caixinha was asked in an interview whether his team was better set up to play away from home than at Ibrox, and he said it was nonsense. And ever since then, we've been jinxed. So I'm blaming him again.
Nice one.
I see you never won again. Never won again in Mexico. But I mean, the 2 Hibs games, mate, we could have won. It was just circumstances. They'll go to True Blue after I spoke to you, Arsha. It was just circumstances. Bad performance against the Heart. Bad performance against, obviously, the other mob. Bad performance against St Johnstone. Bad performance against Hamilton. You know, there's been quite a few this season, should I say.
I feel like one of our main issues that I've noticed at Ibrox is we've let teams stay in the game too long. Like, I know that seems pretty simple and pretty obvious even, but a lot of the time when you look back at the Kilmarnock one, or we didn't play great at Hamilton and St Johnstone and stuff, we have loads and loads of chances to get the game killed off, and we'll usually the ones that we're drawing we're either sitting a goal ahead or we'll sit level for too long and see if it gets to 60, 70 minutes and these smaller teams are still in the game. You see them get a second gust of wind and then they've got nothing to lose at that point, and we start to get shaky. It's been a while. Like every time we seem to play at Ibrox, we can't just go out and get started for the get go, and maybe if we could go out and get a goal or two straight away and go in with a comfortable lead at half time, then it would stop all the nerves and that. But we just tend to be like almost complacent. It feels like we'll create chances and it looks like for 50 minutes, 60 minutes, one's going to come. And then, if these teams are still in the game by the last half hour, then it completely flips.
Fair comment, mate. True Blue, fans, no backing the team or negative for you?
Yeah. I think it's a bit of both, mate. As I said earlier, I think we're that desperate for success. But again, we've discussed it many, many times on here about, getting in an all-seated stadia, Sometimes if it wasn't for a UB, you would hardly hear a thing. You could hear a pin drop in Ibrox nowadays, And you think back to the old days, the older bears on here all remember it, when it was just a big bowl. The noise was tremendous, it really was. But again, it's a synergy in it. The team's got to lift the fans as well, and the fans, vice versa. I think that's it for me. Seated stadium and our desperation for a bit of success. Because we've come so far, we look at, that cup final against that mob for Edinburgh. We thought era a trophy for us, it didn't happen. Things like that, it's been taken away from us. We've had a lot of false dawns, and I think, we're just desperate. It's desperate for the Bears.
Do you think, can I ask you a question on that, True?
Aye.
I reckon that sometimes the stadium's quite quiet, and as you said there, they feed off the players. And you watch the players, and I'm not saying it's happening right now, but it was happening, and they're playing their football and it looks quite nice, and then all of a sudden they lose the ball. Absolutely key time of the game, or a key part of the pitch. Aye. And before you know it, the team's breaking against you, and these guys who have lost the ball are still up there, and and it really is galling. And I think there's the fans start to get really upset, and I'm not saying they get grumpy, but they get upset with it. And you think to yourself, What we're looking for, and I think everybody will say it, we're looking for somebody that will put their foot in and win the ball. Just put your foot in, do the tackling, win the ball, and that'll do it. It calms everybody down. And we've maybe one or two people now who can do that. But we didn't have that a wee while ago. You know, some terrible tacklers, really, didn't they? But if we... like the young Ross McCrory, he seems to like a tackle. The young boy Doherty looks all right. Ryan Jack I like. And so people like that who aren't scared to go in and tackle. They're no powder puffs, but shall we say. Once we get them all up and running, we might be a lot better, and the fans will accept it. I like to see a tackle.
I think you're right, mate, and all, but we've got to get the winning mentality back as well.
100%.
The only way we get that is by a run of games, you know. So it's, you know, when we've dropped stupid points or, you know, gave away stupid goals, it affects confidence.
Do you know, I forgot about the Kilmarnock game. We were 1-up in injury time and had a penalty kick. And missed it, you know.
Well,
and I hope that 2 points doesn't come back to pay us.
That's football, mate. You know that. It's football.
Aye, cruel mistress, true. You know all about that.
It's a natural thing, isn't it? It sounds unnatural that you think it must have been 1 minute to go when we got the penalty, you know, and we miss the penalty, and from the kick out, you know, the goalkeeper plays it out, and away it goes, and all of a sudden they're in our box and not balls in the net. Just amazing.
All our players were still up the park.
Exactly what I'm saying, you know.
You get a penalty in the last minute of a match, you're 1-0 up. You get your back 4, maybe even 5 back. They get in possession because all you want to do is see the game out. It doesn't matter what happens.
Exactly.
You know?
It actually would have been better not having the penalty. Do you know what I mean?
Aye, man,
we'd have been better not getting the penalty.
Aye. Alan 63, you've said about the crowd and what about the set-up of the team? Has that been a factor?
The set-up of the team? No, because and you know how my memory works. Excuse me.
Just thinking
back. Aye, you know what I mean. Memory as in remembering things. Thinking back to Alan Hutton. Alan Hutton I always thought was a kind of play one good game, play the next one stupid. And the abuse he got at Ibrox was unbelievable. The abuse
you be nice to Alan Hutton. You be nice to Alan Hutton.
The abuse that wee boy, was it Ian Murray? Is that his name? Guy for Hibs? The abuse he got at Ibrox was absolutely horrendous. And that's with looking back to all the guys I used to watch all the time. I've seen these guys every other week. Ibrox hasn't changed. Ibrox has always been, if like somebody said earlier, a couple of passes and fans are after heat at you. And you always get folk like George was saying in the lobby there that he stays to the end of a game and backs them and that. Well, that's fine. I'm not talking about that. None of us are talking about that. We're talking about why players can't perform. And my reason for it is there's a chunk of fans all doing Ibrox give them a hard time and always have done. And that's not changed because I heard them last year. So
yeah. I've got to ask you Bear with this one and then we'll go to Fox with the same question. Yeah, sure, I think, and it's only my opinion, it doesn't count for a lot, but I think it's because in a lot of the games we've lost the midfield because of the way we've set our team up, and that's been a problem.
Definitely, we've had that issue for a while. Before we put McCrory in there, and then obviously after his injury, whenever he went in there, it sort of helped that out a wee bit. Again, we had some bad results when he was in there as well. But if you just look back to the Hibs game, it was the midfield there. Every time Celtics came to Ibrox, and we've had sort of terrible results, which you could argue is basically every time. It's always been the midfield. Another issue I think is that we're too slow getting the ball from the midfield to the attack and getting it in the box. So, like, I'm not trying to criticise Candias too much because I think he's been pretty good this season, but I've noticed it a couple of times where he'll get the ball out in the wing and Morelos or whoever will be making the run into the box, and then he decides he needs to beat his man no once but twice before putting it in. And we like to wait until the opposition team have practically every player in their team back in the box before we'll cross it in. And that's something that I've picked up a few times, particularly at Ibrox. Doesn't seem to be as bad away from home, don't know why. But I definitely think we hang on to the ball too much and then give ourselves too much to do, too many bodies to beat when we put it in.
Fox?
Fox is chasing chickens, I think.
No, I'm here.
All right.
No, I quite agree with some of the things Ayrshire said there, mate, but maybe it's a case with Ibrox being such a big part. 4-2-3-1 makes us more exposed. Whereas when we play that formation away from home in some of the tighter grounds, we play very well. So maybe it overexposes us at Ibrox. I don't know what you think about that.
Oh, that's a good point. Big Ulster, then Ibrox loyal.
Well, that's a fair point. Maybe the game's being stretched, and maybe having the two sitting in midfield, maybe that gives them more ground to cover. That is a fair point, but I still think, if we do the right things, we do make the chances as well, and for some reason, we don't seem to bag them, but I think that's what has to change as well. It'd be more worrying if we weren't making chances, but we do make chances, but we need to start putting them away. Take this hoodoo off from us, from our back at Ibrox.
I can see where Fox is coming from that point, but if we go to a 4-4-1-1 or a 3-5-2 as Bridge says he prefers if we were to play at Ibrox, that might help us with our limitations in the 4-2-3-1. I definitely think the 4-4-1-1, the 3-5-2 can work in these situations in such a big park as Ibrox. And as he says, it definitely works away from him because grounds are tighter and there's no as much room to cover. So there's, as I say, you've always got to have 2 or 3 different formations that you can switch to within a game now, and I think Graham Murphy can do that. Is probably with Pedro at the time was too rigid with his formation and stuck to it and says, well, if it's not working, you try even harder to make it better, the formation he's in. But I think with somebody like Murphy in charge now, you can maybe change 2 or 3 formations within the one match.
Good call, mate. Good call. Bridgeman, come on, sum it up. Why, in a few words, why are we not getting results at Ibrox? Come on, tell me, educate me.
Well, I don't know why we're not getting results. I think number one, we seem like a birthday team. We seem to give away goals as presents, don't we? And I think that breeds a bit of fear in the camp and among the fans. So if we went 2-0 up, the fans would still be happy because even knowing in the back of their mind, they'll be saying, we'll only give away 1 goal because that's normally what we do. We normally fluff our lines and lose a goal. We don't lose that many at Ibrox, but when we're ahead, so if we go 2 up, it's going to be decent. We need to be a disaster to lose the game. So I think that's where the fans feel. Get 2 goals, and that takes you up to the frustration of all the chances as Ulster was waxing lyrical about. All these chances we create, we don't seem able to put it away, and it adds to the frustration. And if all you need is put a couple of them away, it settles the fans down and they can enjoy the game, enjoy what our players are doing, even if we lose the silly goal now and again, That's the way I feel.
Yeah, fair comment, mate, fair comment. Yeah, Shabir, it looks as if young McCrory's going to be out for a few weeks, potentially this season. His injury's no healing, that's what I'm picking up. How big a miss is he going to be in the running for you?
Yeah, definitely a big one. I was really hoping he'd be back before the game against the Tims. I think our best bet without him is probably to stick with Docherty because he gives us he's maybe not just as physical as him, but I think he done pretty well at breaking up the play at times. His reading of the game wasn't excellent first half, but I think he's as good as we're going to replace as we can do currently to replace him, obviously with Ryan Jack being out and stuff. But it's funny because our player, nobody really seen much at the beginning of the season. He's only 19-year-old. I think you could put an argument towards him being our most influential player whenever he's been fit.
Potentially. Ibrox. Then we'll go to Alan 63. No. We lost Ibrox. Alan?
Yes.
You mentioned what you thought, and we just want to close this subject before we move on, but we get the shape right, we get the personnel right, surely that's going to create more chances we're going to win these games at home.
Oh, Jinx, I would like to think so. It can only be, yeah. I think if your guys are... It's one of those ones, isn't it? If you're out there scoring goals, bang them in 10 a penny, a couple of oldies thrown in, then you're going to get a far, far better response back, better feedback. And even when a guy then starts doing the odd pass wrong, which everybody over the world playing football does all the time, then they shouldn't be able to get on folks' backs, I don't think. So that'd be great. We need to play better and we've got to score more goals. And all in all, that'd be brilliant because we could win the league.
Aye. True, you want to look forward and look back, eh?
Aye, most definitely, mate. I think another problem, it's interesting to hear Alan there. Another problem we've got at Ibrox, we're expected to attack and win. You know, maybe we should be putting a wee bit of expectation on defending as well. I think at Ibrox, quite often we've got to come out and play a lot more. Which gives teams, you know, if they get it tactically right, St Johnstone have been particularly good for a couple of years at it, you know, getting in behind you and, you know, getting somebody quick on the ball and away they go. I think that's maybe part of the problem as well. There's too much emphasis on attack at Ibrox. You know, tighten up a wee bit. It's all saying you don't lose goals, you know, and taking your chances when you get them. So it could be that as well, you know. I agree with what Fox is. I agree with what Fox is saying about the set-up as well, you know, but it depends your opposition, who you're playing, you know. I wouldn't expect set up the same against Ross County as you would against Aberdeen or something, you know. So I think that would change game to game, and I think Murray's quite shrewd along their lines.
All right, mate.
Aye, on you go, mate. I was just going to say that we need to, as a team, we need to start the game faster. We need to be up. Our game needs to be up tempo. We need to start and come out the tracks and run. But we just don't seem to. We get against Hamilton Accies there. We get stuck for about 4 or 5 minutes. We were stuck in our own half. In fact, in our own penalty area for big chunks of it. And they were getting corners and having shots at goal and eventually scored a goal. That's just not right. We shouldn't be like that. You know what I mean? I'm just saying this in all honesty. We need to, when you're at Ibrox and we've lost a lot of goals in the first 5 minutes at Ibrox, and it's just crazy. And it really unsettles everybody. And they know it, the other teams know it. So if they can get us into the defence and push us back, silence the crowd and so on and so forth, and get us upset, then they'll have the work done. So hopefully, as the season goes on and we get to near, you know, to the really good bits of the season, we need to be in a state where we must come out and attack, absolutely attack. But we need to do it right. We can't, you know, just leave the defenders and let them sink. You know, as far as I'm concerned, we need to play. We need to up our game, high tempo play from every position, from the goalkeeper out. Must play a good tempo. Second half against Hamilton Accies was excellent. Same with Ayr United, excellent.
I like your word tempo there. I think sometimes that's been the problem, mate. We go to the box too slow. The next thing you know, they've either got a chance and it's half time in the end.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
People are feeling unloved. On you go, Al.
I think it goes back to mind that time I was saying about application and attitude, or attitude and application, whatever way around it goes. That's what's missing sometimes. So I think sometimes we've still got players going onto the pitch and they know they're good. We know they're good. And what's happening is they're not putting in the application to go out there and win, if you like. And I think when you think about, say we've had no such a good first half, and you say, I hope Murty rips them a new one at half time. Well, I'd like to see Mr. Murty ripping them a new one before the game starts, so we get fired up, like Bridgman says. High tempo.
Well said, Alan. Well said.
On you go, Fox.
I don't get this bit about the crowd are always on the players' backs, mate. That's not what I hear when I'm at Ibrox. And I don't know if it comes off on the TV broadcast, depending on where the mics are, mate, that are picking this up. if people can hear booing and things like that. I don't hear that at all. What I did notice, and I'll say it is quiet, but a lot of that's to do with people on mobile phones checking their coupons and that. I've got a guy a couple of seats down from me, mate, and we lost a goal at Ibrox, and I happened to be looking down at him just before the goal, and he's checking away at his phone, so he sees the ball going in the net and jumps up and starts shouting all sorts of abuse at fathering him. He wasn't even watching what happened, mate. You know what I mean? But it is quieter at Ibrox. But we do get behind the team. It's only when a player maybe makes a stupid pass 5 yards and knocks it out for a shy, mate, when it's easier to pass to somebody. You hear people, and quite rightly, moaning about it. You expect better for professional football players. But in general, I think the atmosphere at Ibrox is all right.
I'll tell you what defeats that argument a wee bit for me is, see if you look at some of the games over the last season or two where the crowd have been up for it and singing for the beginning of the game, you could pick the 2 Hibs games this season and all the games against Celtic, and we haven't turned up for any of them. They've been our worst performances of the lot.
So
it seems to me more that it's the games when there's pressure, that's actually what's concerning me the most about this weekend.
Did you think we played worse against the Hibs in the 2 games than we did against St Johnstone and Hamilton at home? Because if you look at the Hibs game, the circumstances behind both games, different circumstances, the refereeing decisions, we could have been 3-0 up. We absolutely dominated the second half at Ibrox. Made great positions, and maybe we never made the chances we deserved in the second half, but still scored a great free kick and made a silly error with a penalty kick to gain in the match. The Hamilton games and the St Johnstone games, we just won both of them at the start, never got the goals. In fact, I think we did score against St Johnstone, went 1 up, and then they equalised, and then the wheels just came off. Hamilton just kept it tight and outplayed us, and it was a poor performance on the day. Hibs were maybe bad results for us, but it's games that could have went either way and would have maybe exciting, you know. Whereas the games against Hamilton and Johnson, sorry, mate.
I think you do have a point with the Hibs games, but I think if we'd have turned up and we'd have been right up for it from the beginning, or played to the best of our ability for that Hibs game, it could have been done in the first half. Granted, obviously it was a bit of poor finishing that meant that we didn't even kill the game in the first 30 minutes. But I think that's a trend in every game we play, that maybe even the games where we play terrible, there's at least half of the match through different spells where we actually play really well. It's the fact that whenever we are playing really well, we don't seem to get the goals for it, and then the other team comes into a bit of form for 10-15 minutes and they score.
Some of that's fair.
Well, I was going to say, I think the not so good results come along in the same time as no getting backed by the fans. I think if our fans are like how they used to be, and I'm going back to when I stood in the East Enclosure, and we were on song before the game started, and it didn't stop. It didn't stop till after the game finished. The whole of Ibrox was bouncing, at least in my head it was, because that East Enclosure was. We used to shout up at the Copland, "Can you hear the Copland sing?" No, and that would rile them up a wee bit, and then they'd sing back. Ibrox is like a bloody library. It's been like that now for a decade, and questions should be asked as to where's the backing going.
Can I just come in on that point? You don't mind?
On you go.
I saw that. I think, I'm not sure if it was Fox or Bridgman that says this a few months ago now. It used to be back when I was going, you used to be able to sit beside your mates. Now you can't do it now because of all the way it is with the season tickets and all that are all stated in that now. But maybe not me, but my older brother and that could all go with his mates and that as well. And he used to be able to go to the pub and then just go straight into the football and sit next to your mates. And you can't do that now, and I think
you're talking 30 years ago, mate. That changed 30 years ago. So unless you're sort of roughly 50.
No, but my brothers. Yeah, I know that exactly that, but
you know, the season tickets kicked in 1988 at Ibrox the full stadium, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think that's a brilliant point. I think it's got to be emphasis brilliant in capitals next year. And I do remember Fox having said that, and it's true. I went to the game with my mates, and I stood with my mates, and we all sang in unison. Jinx, we used to go down that Buchanan Street, leading to the St Enoch's underground. And how we never got lifted, I don't know.
I'll tell you what, mate, you get lifted now, that's a big difference. I think that's what's killed some of the singing. A lot of people don't want to sing because they don't know which songs that they can sing and what they can't. And as far as I know, I don't think there's any of them totally illegal that I know of, but people are scared to sing, especially as if you tie that in with you're no along with your mates, you're sitting there with guys from Glasgow, Scotland or England could be sitting next to you, and most people just don't know what to do now, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's a sad indictment.
It doesn't help when the UB are stuck in a wee daft corner out the way as well, mate. I suppose if they were in the middle of the Copeland or in the Govan, mate, that might help the atmosphere a bit, but they're tucked away in a corner. They're treated worse than away fans to me, mate. You know, they're in that wee corner, cameras where the cameras never really get to them. They don't pick them up. They do try hard, they boys.
Yeah, I think they're brilliant because you hear them every game. I think it's sad.
Sorry, Alan, I know they want to be modern and bring out their own tunes, but when half of the grund's full of people at my age and all that, we know the tunes that we like, you know, and I would sing along with any of the tunes that I like, you know.
I started in the house singing along with them.
True Blue.
Yes. I think we should be allowed to sing anything at all we like. Free speech. So there you go. And I know my favourites. I know I've sang them with you, Fox. But as you've got a point, I think there's a lot of liberalism as well now in the Rangers support, I feel, as well. Some guys look at you, you know, if you give a wee bit of abuse to the opposition or something in the terminology you use, you know, it's a different atmosphere, mate. But I think it is. It's a valid point. It's a combination of things, you know. And like Alan, we all used to go up the street singing, you know, and especially going to Hampden, heading up to Hampden and things like that. It was just a riot from start to finish. But no, you'd get kettled and all huckled away, you know, and then that's you get a record, and it's sectarian this, sectarian that, and that's it. You know, they're terrified people now, especially our people, and we are the people.
Things will change, mate. Anyway, great discussion. We'll maybe change the subject after the tunes. I think there's issues maybe that people feel with the support, maybe with the setup, maybe with the players, just maybe not sometimes being quite good enough, but interesting thoughts. So if you don't mind going on mute, Fox will give us a tune. How many tea trays did you use up, Bridge?
That was an LP, wasn't it? It was brilliant.
I think Fox was away doing what he said he was going to do with that one.
I think so, yeah. I think he stuck it on. I'll put Radio Luxembourg on and just go. Well done, Fox. Yeah, that's brilliant. Entertaining, to say the least. Brilliant.
All right, there's sort of news broke today that some positive and negative. Lee Wallace, Bruno Alves are back training with the first team. Looks as if near fitness. Obviously, Lee's been out for a good while. Dorrans is moving back, sort of beginning training ahead of schedule. But the bad news is, and once again, I'm going to ask you this: Ross McCrory. We've no sent him to get surgery. We've waited to see what happens, and lo and behold, it looks as if he's going to need surgery. What's going on? That was the exact same thing that's happened to Dorrans and Jack.
And Jack, yeah, they've waited. I wonder if they're trying not to have the surgery.
Of course,
but it's what a waste of time, really, as it stands. What a waste of time. It must be devastating for the player, because that's him. He'll not recover from the surgery, that's for sure, and be able to play. It'd be a miracle if he managed to get a game this year, the end of this season.
No figures under the knife. Ulster, what's going on? I mean, we've got a problem. Is there an issue, or it's just bad luck?
Oh, there must be a problem. That's a bit of a trend now. Happens once, happens twice, three times is just something needs to be looked at there, and why we can't find these things a lot longer than we are. That's 3 times we've confirmed that we didn't need surgery, or wasn't even talked about. So it's a wee bit worrying that. I think we need to, and yourself, if you've got an injury, and you do need surgery, I would suspect it'd be best that, for the recovery, you need to find that out as soon as possible, and confirm that. That's a bit worrying for me, and it's really annoying too, because I know McCrory's a very young player, but I really, really like him. I think he's a really good player, and now we won't have him, which is frustrating, but yeah, that worries me. I don't see why we can't find these things out a lot sooner than what we are.
I thought the scans told you everything. True Blue. I thought they told you everything you need to know now.
Oh, aye, mate. I can even tell you the sex of your Wayne. I think it's a combination of things. Getting back, there's been criticism of your medical department getting way back, to Dick Advocate, Daniel Prodan, things like that, Seb Rosenthal and all the rest of it. I think there's a case to be made for looking at the training methods as well.
Oh, who's on the whistlers?
Who's on the first uppers?
Aye.
First uppers? Wow.
Aye, well, they're not checking,
They're not checking,
Whoever's on it, just go and mute. Carry on.
But I think a lot of if you look at it, if you talk to Bridge or Fox, or to yourself a certain extent and all, you look back now, the ball they play with, it's practically a non-contact sport. They're talking about the ball heading, the ball gives you dementia and all that. If you look back at the balls we used to play with, the bladder with the laces hanging out and things like that. I find it bizarre. I think a lot of the injuries now are, I don't know if the training's right, mate, in the modern game. Because guys seem to pick up injuries and they're out forever. They're out for months on end.
I think they come back with injuries that used to would have put them out the game in days gone by, mate.
A broken leg usually was the end of your career, Eric Caldo and things like that. But I think it's a different make-up. I think physically football players are differently made now. And, I was listening to some of the guys earlier talking about, a speedy attack and all this. We've not got Loudrop, we've not got an Alberts any longer. We've got a lot of workman-like players, and they expect the same sort of thing out of them. It's maybe asking too much. But, as I say, I think it's a combination of that, the medical side of things and the training and the physical make-up of players now. They've got to be athletes now. You look back at some of the old movies, some of the players.
Bobby Shearer.
Aye, well. That was actually, you read my mind there, people like that. It's a different game now, mate. They're finely tuned,
And maybe too much toned, that's how it goes quickly.
Aye.
Fair comment, mate. Fox, good and bad news.
It's bad news for me. I really like Ross McCrory. But I think the thing is now, with the way they treat players, mate, getting under the knife's the last resort with them. I think they try everything under the sun before they'll carry out operations on players. I think they allow them time to heal themselves before they take action like that. I don't think it's anything to worry about. I think it's happening all over football that they're more cautious than they were, mate. They're really looking after their players now. And as you said, in days gone by, they'd have just jagged you up and sent you out there, regardless of your future, you know. So they're being careful with the players, and I'd expect them to do that in this day and age, you know.
A lot of the surgery now, Fox, is the keyhole stuff and all, you know.
But it's still surgery, true.
I know.
If you go to the doctor, mate, and you say, I've got something wrong with my elbow, you're not expecting them the first thing to do is replace your elbow, you know what I mean? They'll try all sorts of therapy on you, etc., to see if it'll heal itself. That's all I'm saying, you know.
Aye. They can't replace an elbow, by the way.
I don't know, that's what they do. One of mine's faces and I wouldn't.
Is that how you kept dropping your drinking Saturday night because your elbow wasn't working?
Don't use that. Don't use that.
I could just see him there.
You lost your two big toes the way you lost your balance, mate. You know.
No. There was only one who swaying into the sunset. It wasn't me.
Was it Rangers Radio on ice?
Rangers Radio on ice. That's brilliant.
Put it this way, I had a breakfast date the next morning with the bridge man, and he'll tell you I was fine.
He was fine, I have to admit that. I swear my life to that, absolutely. He was fine. And when I asked him about the falling on the floor and things like that, he denied it. Said, no, it wasn't me.
Correct, because it wasn't me.
Well, it wasn't what you remember, put it that way.
I remember everything, boy.
Do you remember going in the wardrobe thinking it was a toilet?
No, not at all.
I've done that.
I bet you have. Anyway, let's go back to good or bad news. Not good or bad news. It is bad news for the young boy McCrory and bad news for our team. Mixed news there, Shabera.
Right, definitely. I've seen some people sort of criticising our medical staff and that earlier on, which actually when I read this was one of the first things I thought of. But I had a wee look at it, and basically apparently what we'd done is, I agree with you, True and Fox and that were kind of saying about like that they were trying not to go straight to surgery because it's a last resort. But with Graham Dorrans and Ross McCrory, they'd both been sent in to a specialist in London, so it was actually with our medical team's control. They were following advice of the professionals in the issue. But I think if there's anybody to blame for the length of injury, not necessarily for the amount of injuries and how serious they are, it's referees and opposition players. Because see, when you look at Ryan Jack and Graham Dorrans, they've both been out for it looks like by the time they're going to come back, it's about 6 months each. Obviously, Jack's end of the season and Dorrans was injured way back, what was it, October time? And both of them was due to pretty terrible tackles that came in on them, and both of them went unpunished. I think when Ryan Jack had that guy's stamp on both his knees, I don't even think there was a free kick given. So I think if there's anybody that should be getting the blame for this, it's the state of the amount of tackles that are allowed to go in this country.
I agree with that. Can I just say on top, at the back of that, I was absolutely stunned and amazed when our manager says there's nothing in that tackle. The one that injured Ryan Jack, I just can't believe that. I can't believe our manager said that. I think a wee mistake was made by the manager there. I don't want to say too much about it, but for him to come out and say, no, I don't see anything there, well, look, the guy's still out, he's still injured.
Do you think that'd be quite a big sort of no bargaining chip, but something we could reference if we did go forward to eventually have a go at the way that we are being refereed to a different standard? But with Murray just saying it was an accidental tackle and that he didn't mean anything with it, then we've already shot ourselves in the foot with that one. But that's a prime example when we need to be smarter about these things, and maybe somebody should be advising Graham Murray of what he's supposed to be saying before he goes out for some of these press conferences.
Yeah, it's look, we don't need to go far to find the negatives without finding it, giving it ourselves. Like the guy might have been saying his honest opinion, and maybe he didn't see anything, but you know, his players in the hospital, still in the hospital. If you follow, I mean, still struggling.
Rich, do you think it's in today with the footwear they wear now? I mean, they're thin as anything. They pick football boots more for what they get out of sponsorship than what they do to protect themselves, mate. I mean,
don't think it's
slippers. They're wearing slippers, mate, when underneath the slippers are studs, and a lot of injuries are coming for that. There's no protection to their feet.
Yeah, I can understand what you're meaning now. Yeah, in my opinion, there are certain things happened, particularly this season, and it doesn't matter what footwear you're wearing. When your fullback gets his back jumped on and arm around the neck and dragged to the ground, and the referee doesn't say anything, but ends up booking both your fullback and the other player. I don't know why that happened. So many times these kind of things happen. And I'm speaking of the first game against Hibs at Ibrox, when Stokes jumped in the back at Tavernier. Why Tavernier got booked, I have got no idea. That was a red card for Stokes all the way, and that referee either bricked it or deliberately cheated against us, and that's just what happened.
Let's get back to the young McCrory.
Sorry.
And my players, you know. I know.
No, what I was going to say was the same thing happened against Motherwell, and Ryan Jack got injured, and it was a deliberate. To me, there was a deliberate move there for that guy, and no way he was going for the ball. The ball was anywhere near him, and it was after the ball was gone. He just stamped on him and dragged his foot down his shin. As far as I'm concerned, that's what I saw. And really and truly, our manager has come out and he said he believed there's nothing in it and players need to go and do and have to grow up or whatever. Sorry, I don't think that's right. But Ross McCormick, really, really sad. I'm so sad. That's him. You'll not see him until next season. Hope he comes back well.
Can I just come in there on that one, lads?
On you go, mate. Just let me cut across you. Unite through. Carry on.
The thing I've got to look at here as well, mate, it's very sad news, obviously, about young McCrory. That's a definite. But we've got to take into the situation here as well. It's the bruising and the swelling. You've got to remember, they've got to wait till that comes right down before you can get a right decent x-ray on the sort of injuries that were picked up.
Well, your swelling disappeared quite quickly at the weekend.
That was well taken care of, wasn't it?
That's what it is, mate, and it can take a few days to a few weeks for the swelling and bruising.
McCrory's not played since, I'm trying to think. Maybe the Kilmarnock game. Did he play against Kilmarnock? He never played in the New Year's Old Firm game, did he? Did he?
I think he did he not?
Did he?
I think that was his last game.
The last game, wasn't it?
I think so.
So it's nearly 2 months since he played.
I'm not just saying that, mate. But you think about it, say it's going to take, would you say about a week for the swelling and bruising? He probably do before you get a decent x-ray. And then, as Ersher says there, our medical staff sent them all the way down to London, so that's got to be taken into account as well. But it's just a shame for us that we're going to be missing out on a quality player for probably the rest of the season.
It's a chip bone he's out with Ox, isn't it?
I believe so, mate. And they were hoping it would heal itself.
A contact injury, isn't it?
Most of the time, mate, you can chip the bone if you could put it maybe down in a certain position. You can take a bit out of it, but 9 times out of 10, it's a contact.
Proper a stud.
Usually, Al.
I think the only good thing you can take for it is there's most of the guys over a number of years now say that when they've had an injury and they come back, they say they come back stronger. So if anything, that's the kind of good thing you could take.
Hopefully the boy can learn his trade. Anyway, talking about guys who are trying to learn their trade, we've been joined by Blue Shadow. How are we doing, Blue?
Not bad, man. How are we doing?
All right, mate. Any thoughts?
Well, I mean, I've chipped a bone myself, and I know it took me about 6 weeks to get over it. So maybe his is different. I don't know what's going on, but it seems to be taking an awfully long time. And I think we've got to keep an eye on the medical department because as we've had trouble with it for so long, And not so long ago, there was reports of somebody being hired who wasn't even qualified, and loads of equipment being left under wraps, expensive equipment being left under wraps because the guy didn't even know how to use it. So I think we need to keep that. And if this is, and the one thing that does strike me is if this is the second or third guy that we've been sending down to this guy in London, and there has been perhaps a misdiagnosis is the wrong word, but they've tried to treat them one way, and then it's turned out that we've actually had to go back and have the surgery after all. To me, there needs to be someone to be looked at. Is this the right guy? Because or at least it's rather concerning. I'd be ask him to explain why this is happening. That why didn't he see that this was going to result in needing surgery the first time?
Well, if our choice in medical specialists is anything like our choice of managers, then you'd be better just sending all the injured players to me and I'll put some ice on it.
Magic sponge.
Was that a bit of sarcasm there, Russia?
Maybe a bit.
Aye, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean, I wish Ross McCrory all the best, and I think the positive is that we might have Dorrans and back before the end of the season, and obviously Lee Wallace and Alves will be back in the squad. That's a good thing, Bridgeman, eh?
Absolutely. Get them back and give the manager as many headaches as you can. You've got to make some choices, and some of the choices will be some folk will like them, some folk won't, but these guys are coming back, and we have got a real shower of guys now in our squad that some of them are really good quality, others are just below them, and they'll all level out somewhere along the line, and we'll find out who we're going to keep and who we're going to replace. And it's just magic to be in that position, as long as you get them back off a long-term injury. There's nothing worse in your squad. You had people injured for a long, long time. Yeah. Boy Rossiter, it's tragic, isn't it? It's actually
his ankle
tragic.
This time, different injury.
Aye, but
it's a contact injury. It was a tackle. Talking about quality guys, we've been joined by Boswell. Evening, Bos.
Hi, Boswell.
Oh, he was there. Dorrans, he's going to have to fight for his place. Ulster?
Yep, Dorrans is going to have to fight for his place, same as Alves and Wallace. So, you've got a player there who's desperate to get into to play in the World Cup. So Alves is going to have to, if he gets his chance, he's going to have to play a lot better than what he has been doing. He's going to have to play really well to try and to prove to the Portugal manager that he's good enough to go to the World Cup. You've got Wallace, who's club captain, hasn't been there in a while. You've got Declan John playing really well, so Lee Wallace is going to have to do something really good to try and take that position. And then you've got a decent midfield there. You've got like Goss, who's playing well, and you've got new players obviously in all fighting for that position. So Dorrans is going to have to prove himself as well. So this is, I think, what's better about the squad than what would have been at the start of the season. You've got so many options, and you've got good quality players coming back in that have to play the best to stay in the team, So it's good for the squad to have good competition like that.
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Boss? Yeah, we can, mate.
Can you hear me? Yeah. Good evening. Yes, you're too kind, I was saying, but I'm sure it won't last.
No, don't worry about it, boss.
I'm just phoning. I'm just coming in just to concur completely with Ayrshire Bears' take on our injury woes, because I think it's poor refereeing, and the fact that we're refereed to a different standard, and the fact that I was very dismayed with Graham Murty's attitude to the tackle on Ryan Jack. I mean, I'm sorry, but this is not about being hard. This is about winning the political battle. It's about winning the PR battle. And what we should be doing this week, because we've got Cheating beaten at the weekend, we should be coming out and putting the pressure on everybody, saying that we sincerely hope that the type of refereeing performance that we witnessed against Hibs will not be repeated by the official as he's back refereeing Rangers again after he'd been demoted because of that refereeing performance. Nothing short of disgraceful. But see, we don't seem to want to do this because we have this thing where we think, we can't be like Celtic, we can't moan. I'm sorry, but that's why they're successful at this sort of thing, because they win the battle of the PR. They say that referee then goes into that game knowing that he cannot do the things that he was doing before, because everybody knows exactly, because it's been, people have fronted them up and said, no, we're not having this anymore.
Seeing the referee's defence, Buzz, and they're not the guys that's taking the tackles. What they're doing is no punishing the tackles.
That's what I mean, but that's what's that. See, as long as what they always say is that if the referee doesn't clamp down and stamp his authority on the game, the players then think it's a free for all and they can do what they like, and they do what they like. You could see this from Stokes. Now, had Stokes been yellow carded the way it should have gone down,
then sent off.
Exactly, that would have been finished, and the referee would have regained control. But as the referee allowed the game to go out of control, and you can see that, I always look at the amount of bookings. See if I see any more than 4 or 5 bookings, my immediate thought is the referee's lost the plot, and the players know that, so anything goes.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think of Ross McCrory, bad?
It's, you know,
this time of the season, when the boy, we don't know, he could have been suspended, but now he could have lost form.
Exactly.
Never be able to answer that, you know.
But he hadn't, so so we can just say that it's an injury and it's unfortunate. But you know, I was saying just it might have been Sunday on the show that isn't it fantastic that our club now find itself in a position where we can say we brought this boy through from the reserves and he's doing so fantastically well that our first team feels a little bit bereft without his presence sitting in front of the back four, being that protective element. And I think that's a great testament to the coaching staff. But we really do miss him, and I think that it could be the end of his season potentially.
Looks that way, doesn't it?
Nice to see Lee Wallace coming back as another option at left back. And Alves, well, I'm a bit disappointed with Alves because he came in and he was, you know, it was World Cup and Euros and all the rest of it, and I don't think he's done.
I've never known a centre half that could play football.
You watch it, boy.
Yeah, you're probably right. I've never known a centre half talk any sense either.
Oh, that's shocking. Absolutely shocking.
See, Rich, you set yourself up for these things. No,
this competition of places, Alan 63, it's going to be Mr. McCrory, Mr. Murty's going to have some decisions to make. And it's going to strengthen our bench and hope people could hopefully push it a bit to get into the first team.
Yeah, it's a lot better. I don't know who it was that went and said the other week there that the bench was a lot stronger and somebody else came in and dissed it, and I thought, no, come on, the bench is stronger. Might not be great, but it was stronger than what it used to be. And right now, it's going to get better and better. Especially when these guys get fit. I mean, there's a few there that can play football. We never saw the best of Dorrans, and Dorrans supposed to be a decent footballer to good, and we've not seen that. So when he comes back, it will be good. Jack hopefully comes back better and not trying just as hard, so he can play his normal game. Who else is it?
Well, don't forget as well, Alan, is that come the end of June.
Sorry.
Just come the end of June, we're back in Europe again. So these boys coming back at the right time where they've actually had a little bit of a break and a little bit of a rest, and they come back refreshed. And it's just in time for us to fight to get further forward in the Europa League. So I see that as a potential positive. It's certainly going to be a better squad strength this time in the Europa League than it was last year.
Well, we couldn't be much worse, could we?
No, you're absolutely right, Bouchard. You're absolutely right. But at least that's to look forward to as a positive.
Well, the team that likes that played last week, if they were playing that Progress Mob tomorrow, we'd pump them.
You'd like to think so. You'd like to think so.
No doubt about it.
No doubt, yeah.
And there's much more desire in this.
Ulster, how do you see the competition for place? I don't know who's doing the Titan, but Fox is going to drop them.
No, I'd say I think it's a lot better. That's what you need. You need competition for all your places. And it also, not only does it make the players that are trying to get into the team, hopefully do the business, it's the ones that actually hold the positions. It's up to them to try and keep that. And I think that's probably the thing, like Tavernier and Wallace, we were always looking for decent, players to maybe take off from their positions. I think we're still a bit short at right back. That's something we'll probably in the next window will probably strengthen there as well, I would say. But that's what you need to win titles and to win cups. You need a strong squad and strength and depth, and that's finally coming to fruition for us, I think, slowly but surely.
Boy Shadow.
So what was the question again?
The competition for places. Mr. Murty's going to have a decision. We're going to have the midfielders as it is this now. You're then going to have maybe potentially Graham Dorrans coming back, and how do you... Declan John and Lee Wallace buying for places, and maybe Alves buying against Russell Martin and David Bates. So the manager's got decisions to make.
Right. Well, I mean, there's going to be, I said that last week, particularly with young Doherty and Holt. If Holt doesn't keep up, I think Holt will come back, and but the thing is that if Holt has an off game, which he seems to be prone to doing, then he can get hooked and Doherty put on in his place. So, so you can't afford any slip-ups. So I think it'll push things up. But also as well as when your first team players are getting tired, through, if you're doing that, the pressing the ball high up the pitch or whatever we were playing, then after 60 minutes, 65 minutes, you're probably going to replace one or two of them, and at least we've got quality players to bring in their place. Or again, if we get these injuries next season, to people like Dorrans or anything, hopefully we've got the players to cover them.
Fox, good thing. Hard decision for the manager, but good.
I don't think at this present time it's a hard decision. Well, there is one position, but left back, I don't think Declan John deserves to be stepping aside for Lee Wallace at this present time. If he has a couple of bad games, I can see Lee Wallace getting back in, and I think it would be harder for Declan John to push him back out. But my main concern is the centre-half position. Martin's been playing on the left-hand side of Bates, where I think he would be more comfortable on the right side. And if we were going for a real strong challenge going into the playoffs games, I would like to see our most experienced centre-backs there. And that would be Martin and Alves for me. I think that's where the big choice is for the manager to make. Doran's still a wee bit away from being match fit, so I'm not even going to mention him at the moment. But centre-half, we need to get a pairing that works and works consistently, whether that might end up being Bates and Alves or Alves and Martin or Martin and Bates. Mate, we need to find the correct solution to that wee problem. And I think we've got three decent centre-halves there, and the choice of the two, I hope we get it right.
Bridgman, then Boswell?
Yeah, I agree with Fox there. We do need to find a solution to our centre-half. I hope it is that the boy Martin and he manages to come through, but I don't. You know how I feel about it. I don't think it's him. I don't think it's going to be Bates either. Although I'm not dead sure how his contract talks are going on, but we could actually lose him very soon, to be honest. So we need a solution to our centre halves, but we won't get that solution until the summertime anyway. But I just hope that Russell Martin manages to continue improving and drops his weak parts in it, because he's got some weak parts in his game. Hope he gets over that. I put it down to sort of match fitness. I don't mean full actual fitness, I just mean match fitness. He's starting to pull things around, and that was a dreadful pitch he was playing on the other day, so I'll give him, make excuses for him. Hopefully.
All right, mate. All right. Boswell, decisions. Well, if we get a run and we're moving maybe to semi-finals, finals, and if we can get close to the league, the managers then get decisions to make, isn't he?
I think with Bridge, it's that. Well, it's first of all the centre half pairing, and I think Alves will come back into that centre half, and it's a question of who goes. and who moves. And I think that it's my understanding with the David Bates situation is that the club haven't made a second offer to him, so it's still very much fencing with the two of them. But I don't think, from what I hear, is that the two parties are not a million miles away. So maybe David Bates, yeah, but there's a lot of interest in David Bates. Russell Martin, I don't know. I didn't like the look of him when he played against Ayr. I didn't like the look of him when he played against Hamilton. Alves, I haven't liked the look of at all. I just don't think he's strong enough or powerful enough. So that's for me. But I think the other thing is what we play in the middle of the park. Is it a diamond? Is it a flat four? And I thought the diamond was working quite well when he played it. He played it for a bit against Ayr and played it for a bit against Hamilton. And then it's this, the young Jason Holt or Greg Docherty. Well, I think I said earlier in the week that I thought Jason Holt was the man in possession, and therefore Greg Docherty may have to bide his time. But I don't think you'll have to wait long, because I think that, you know, it's about revolving these things and keeping the thing fresh. But at this, you know, Graham Murty, I think, has improved as a manager 100-fold since he was appointed as caretaker to the end of the season. And I think there was a lot.
Great point, Boz. Great point.
There was a lot of scepticism about that.
He's grew into the job, and I was reading some real interesting stuff about him. But we'll maybe talk about during the week about what he'd done when he was captain of Reading, etc. With the media. So he's no shy. Yeah, Shabert, do you see it as a good thing, the competition?
Well, definitely competition for places can only be a good thing. You might find, obviously, we've started playing a little bit better recently for the most part. And you can maybe put that down to just the fact that there's been some more competition for places, partly all over the field. It's something we've been lacking for a while. We were saying it last season, and I suppose at the beginning of this season as well. I think it'll be interesting. Basically, it's already been covered about the centre half pairing, but I'd also think it'd be interesting to see what Graham Dorrans could offer us and what position he would get into if he comes back into the team. But definitely, because the other thing as well is we're almost certain to get another injury or two before the end of the season, so we need as many players back as we can.
Good point, Alan.
Is Big Bates going to become a casualty a bit like McGregor, mate? Because he was only a basic defender, do you think that the Rangers will pass on by with him when his contract runs out?
I think they'll sign him, Fox, because I think there's great potential with Bates, and I think that the club definitely, from what I hear, the club definitely want to keep a hold of him, and they'll do all they can, but they're not going to go absolutely mental on him. And if he accepts it, he accepts it. But I don't think the club are, going to really seriously push the boat out.
Is there any truth, Boswell, that he's made a wee offer from? Or he's had an offer from Sunderland.
They can't, mate.
No, they can't. Exactly. Apparently, Sunderland had... Yeah.
Sorry,
Shite, it was crap. Sorry, where'd you go?
Fox, you were going to say something.
No, let it go, mate.
Can I just say, what I'm hearing is that what I heard last week was that Sunderland's offer was something like 9,000 a week. The Rangers were offering him 6,000 a week. That's the only reason I was asking. Whether there's any truth in it all or no, I don't know.
I never heard anything of it.
But the Sunderland at the moment can't offer him nothing because the window's shut. Anyway, Sunderland have got bigger.
But hold on. I thought he was in his last 6 months.
They can. You're right. You're spot on, but they could.
Right.
He was in his last 6 months, but I don't think there was any offer made to the club because they'd have to buy his contract out for the last 6 months.
In January, aye.
Exactly.
They wanted him. Alan, 63, yes. You're picking your team, and who's your midfield? Everybody's fit.
Oh, Jingzo. Can I address the centre-half bit first?
Aye, of course you can.
I think if you want to make a dent of any sort in any competition, we're going to have to get better. The guy, Martin, he's not that good. The guy, Bates, I would let him go. Or keep him in the under-20s or something like that. I think the fact that he's playing with Rangers should be enough for him to sign a contract. He's only he's young, 20, 19. He's really young at it. And for him to not back a contract for us is just get yourself to. There's loads of boys out there can play better than him. I think we've got to bring in
a contract back, Alan. I don't know that he knocked it back.
Right. I don't know.
It might be the technicalities of the contract. If somebody's creaking, I don't know if it's a door or a chair that's coming right through. Could you go on mute when you're not talking?
Sounds like a computer chair. What I would say was, I think we're going to have to buy centre halves. I remember me and Bridgman both thinking that a while back. We were saying things like, who's going to be our next captain? And things. We were like, we're going to have to buy him in. So the next one we buy in will be our captain, and lo and behold, nothing happened that way. But this guy, man, come on, he's dead slow to stop. He's not going to help us if we come up against decent teams in the UEFA Cup, providing all goes well and we get through the wee daft rounds to get into the proper rounds. But I says I don't rate Bates too much. I think he's brave. I think he's one of those guys. I'll go and win that header, but I think brains wise he's out the window. The guy Alves, I think he's a pretender. I think he's been good in the past, but he's having a laugh. My midfield. I don't think he's feeling. I don't think he's feeling the injuries, mate. His calf went. No, I'm talking about he's having a laugh for us. He's done. He's getting money for all.
I agree with that.
I think if he's fit, I don't know, because it's dead hard. The other week there, I was kind of different from what Boswell went and said. I was thinking, Doherty, no, give me Doherty every day of the week. But I watched Doherty trying too hard against his former side, and I thought, wee man, that game just bypassed you. So, yeah, against Hearts, I would have in Holt anyway for that game. Moving on whenever he's fit, nah, it's too hard a call for me. I'm not qualified.
At least you're honest, mate. At least you're honest. Blue Shadow, you're a man that knows a bit about the engine room of a football team with all the good players play and the brains of the outfitter. Who's your first choice midfield?
Well, first choice got to be Goss. He's the man that can pick the weaponry, if you know what I mean. If you could he's the man who can sit with the ball, and if whoever's free, he can knock a pass 10, 20, probably 30 yards straight into the guy's path and to run onto and get the ball moving quickly. For me, the key thing, which is missing, and some people may disagree with this, is McCrory. Who's the guy that's going to lock up that area of the pitch just in front of the back four? Because for me, Holt normally doesn't do it. He's great. He's got great engine and all the rest of it. He's a real trier. But he's no the man that's going to come in and put in a crunching tackle and stop somebody. So I don't know who we're going to put in there for me.
No, look, we'll get some players back and others will get injured. Ulster, you're 3 for the midfield. In the middle.
3? If everyone was fit?
Yeah.
Well, if everybody was fit now, I would be playing Goss and McCrory and Dorrans. I think Dorrans, or I think Windass has done well, scoring goals, but I think Dorrans will be twice the player playing behind the strikers, in my opinion.
All right, okay. Fox? Oh. Bridgman?
Well, that was a good shout for the boys there. I think Dorrans is going to fit in, and I believe he'll be the one. He'll be the link between the strikers and the midfield. It's at the top of the diamond type thing, I'm really looking forward to these guys coming back in and forcing their way into the team. If they're good enough, force their way into the team. It's going to be great competition. I have to admit, I wouldn't like to be the manager's side just to see what he's got to. How's he going to pick? Who's he going to pick? And it's a very tough decision for him. But there's some good players sitting there, admittedly injured at the moment. And it's a long-term injury too. But when they come back, my goodness, he's going to have 13, 14 really, really good players to pick from there. Really good. Looking forward to it. Dorrans, please, come back.
I've never seen the best of him. I don't know if it was his form or the system we were playing in, Fox. Are you back with us? Or the Pedro effect?
I think he was played out of position. I don't think he's a defensive midfielder, but he was filling in that role. I think we're three best at the moment for the midfield. Would be Goss in the left of the three, McCrory in the middle, and Ryan Jack, mate. That would be my three. If we went to a diamond, I honestly think we've got two good players for most positions in that side, mate. The younger, you've got people like Dorrans, who, if he got back to the form that he used to show in England, would maybe shove Josh Windass out, mate. And I know Josh Windass, he's playing well, but I think there's more creativity in Dorrans. His understudy, as I say, would be Windass. Jack's understudy would be the young boy we bought for Hamilton. Goss's understudy would be Jason Holt, mate. That's I think we've got two people for every position, doesn't matter what sort of formation we go out in, mate. It's a good place to be.
It also depends on who we're playing, doesn't it?
Aye, horses for courses, man. You're fluid. Your system's got to be fluid. Your shape, your personnel, everything's got to be fluid, isn't it?
I think Fox picked the right three there for some of the bigger games where there is a chance we'd go overrun in the midfield. Being able to play Docherty at the back and then Ryan Jack and obviously slightly in front of him, and seeing Goss playing slightly in front of him might help as well, so that he's not tied down as much with the defensive duty.
I just wish we had the same type of, shall we say, choice for our central defensive pairing. It would be really good if we had a couple of real good quality. In my opinion, I thought that Boy Martin's a good quality player. However, is not proving it up to now. And Alves is obviously, and I was his biggest fan, if you could call it that. And he's been a major disappointment. He really has, major disappointment.
He has been, Bridge. He has been.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt about it. No doubt.
The trouble is, mate, once one of the injuries come, it seems you get a run, and that seems he's that age, isn't he?
And it's difficult to come back from it. So you get to a certain age, and it's really tough. That's the difficult part, is recovering. It's a recovery side of it. When you're 16 and 17, it doesn't matter what it was, other than a break, of course. You're straight back up, and away you go. Out to the dancing.
Unless you're Kenny Miller, he seems like he could break his neck and he'd be back playing in 4 weeks.
Yeah, I was watching him when he came on as subby, and I thought, my God, he's still running about the pitch there at great speed and great pace. I don't know if he's going to. He certainly seems to be getting, whenever he can, he's certainly getting on the pitch, and far more often than a lot of the younger guys who are possibly in the same type of position would like. They'd like to go on the pitch, and Kenny's making it. So he must be doing something in the training. He must be showing it.
It's funny that we've got some young guys injured, and we're getting told it's going to be 4 weeks, and then it's just setbacks, and then you've got Kenny Miller, who's old enough to be some of their dads, and we're told that he'll never play. Like, his season's probably done. Folks saying he'd never play for us again, and he's back within about 6 weeks, 8 weeks, maybe a wee bit longer than that. Can't remember exactly how long it was.
I want to just take us back. Remember last night we talked about the catalyst for the 2005 season being the victory in at Park Edwin, 1-2, pushed his own. I think we ended up. Did we win the treble that year? No, not the treble. We won the league. It was 2003. We won the treble.
No?
Aye, we won the League Cup and the league. Anyway, I'm going to take us back to 2008 to an away tie in the UEFA Cup. Yeah, we were down and out with 10 minutes to go. Hugo was equaliser and sent us through. Prize for the first one. Ibrox. Fox.
What year was that, mate?
Guys, I couldn't get off a mute there.
2008, away at Panathinaikos, 10 minutes to go.
Novo.
I was going to say Nacho.
Nacho.
Hello?
Everybody's there, Loyal?
I'm still there, there's a lot of cutting.
That goal drove us through, took us through, and then ultimately the rest is history. Obviously we never won it, but what a journey it was. Foxy boy, Nacho Novo, what a season.
I liked being Nacho, mate. Played with a lot of gusto, as they would used to say. Gave his all, didn't leave anything in the dressing room, mate. Gave his all in the park, came up with loads of good goals for us, mate. A great, I
71 goals in 141 games, mate.
How good a wee striker he was, mate. And it's sad to see him a wee bit laid up now when he took the bad turn after the legends. Was it 5 asides there in Germany or something like that? And I wish him well. I'm hearing he's back home and safe now. That's the main thing. But I loved wee Nacho, mate. I think everybody did.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember that night, Bo Shadow? Obviously it put us through. We didn't know what it would take us, you know. I think after that it was Werder Bremen, then Sporting Lisbon.
Every game in that, it was a nervous wreck after it, because it's always just like, oh no, and then we just scraped through by the fingernails, you know. And it just seemed everyone. And I mean, after that, for Fiorentina game, I was like, oh god, I've got to go down the pub.
Life's tough sometimes, isn't it? Life's tough sometimes.
Oh, dude, I didn't normally take the wee ones in those days, but by God, I did that night.
Ulster, that was the start of that journey in the UEFA Cup.
Yeah, it's probably in my history, obviously, as older birds, we've had better because we won a Cup Winners' Cup, but for me, that's best European run I've ever experienced as a Rangers fan. It was fantastic. And obviously, that was the start of it. That we thought we were dead in the water, and obviously, Novo gets the goal. I don't think any of us expected to go the way it did with it. We done ourselves proud in our Champions League group, and then after that, we went in the FA Cup, and it was some moments you were looking through your fingers, but somehow we just kept getting ourselves through every game. It was absolutely fantastic. And then it ended up obviously in Manchester, and I was there myself. I done an 8-hour journey on the overnight boat from Belfast to Liverpool. It was a great, great experience. Unfortunately, didn't get the result, but it's a memory will live with me forever.
Bridgeman, I don't know if you remember the Panathinaikos game, but we played quite an attacking lineup.
Panathinaikos game.
Yeah,
was a big Greek boy playing for us at the time?
No, he'd left.
No? Okay.
The team was McGregor, Broadfoot, Papic, Quella, Weir, Hadami, Ferguson, Stephen Davis, Nacho Novo, Chris Boyd, Charlie Adam.
Yeah.
With substitutes Christian Daly, Stephen Naismith,
Christian Daly,
and Chris Burke. He had a good tournament that year, mate.
Absolutely.
I think it was Sporting Lisbon. He came in and played centre half and was excellent.
Yeah. Played his heart out for most of the team. Must have played for about 11 teams or something like that, you know.
Was that Christian Daly's first game?
Oh, I'll check it out for you, mate. I'll check it out. There's your bear. Do you remember Nacho's goal?
Funnily enough, when you're talking about that, I actually don't have much of a memory of that game. I was actually, I'm not trying to rub it into some of the older gents, so I was actually quite young at the time, but I remember seeing, it was kicking about on Twitter the day it was, I think it was the game after it, versus Werder Bremen, where we were winning, was it 2-0 in the first leg, and then we were hanging on, we were 1-0 defeat in the second leg, and they were showing, do you remember that Alan McGregor save? Like point blank range, he tips onto the bar. That was kicking about the day, but honestly, I don't remember the goal against Panathinaikos. I'm going to need to go and look that up when I get off.
I'm a bit young to remember it, but I look it up before the show, you know. Ulster, you're right. That was Christian Daly's debut, mate.
I thought that.
Aye, it was. Alan 63. What a season that turned out to be, didn't it?
Oh, tremendous, yeah. Put us on a different planet, I thought. It was one of those strange ones. I honestly can't remember how or when it was that the Filth went and got beat by a far superior side. But watching us and just doing the journey, it was like it was something different, wasn't it? That's why I said another planet. I just thought this is so much better than anything that lot did, because yours was better. we get a better run. The only thing that disappointed me was the final, and we never had two up front. And sadly, I still feel like that today. I always think we should play with two up front.
Well, you've been too late to change it in the final, haven't we?
You've been consistent with that one. Fox, and then Ibrox to finish us off this evening. Fox, that was a catalyst, that goal on Novels, got us away and away goals, and we were on that journey. So another goal will always be eternally grateful to Nacho Novo and wish him all the best with his health, mate.
Aye, without a doubt. We were known to knock out Werder Bremen after the Partha night, wasn't it? And then the Portuguese side, aye.
And then, what a night that was as well, wasn't it?
Fiorentina was the real goal that he scored, wasn't it, in the penalty kick?
Aye.
Aye. Much love with the Rangers fans, mate. That was a run that nobody expected. We'd played well in the Champions League group, if I remember. We drew 0-0 each with Barcelona at Ibrox. I think they beat us 2-0 away. But we done well. I think we accrued, was it 6 or 7 points to finish clear? Was it Stuttgart back then, boys? I was in the Champions League group, I think.
Stuttgart, and then we beat... Charlie Adams scored that wonderful goal, and the big boy got the penalty scored. Darshifel scored the penalty. Yeah, we came to 1-1 against the German champions. Last words to Ibrox Royal before we have shout-outs.
That was a great year, 2007-2008, mate. Obviously, you speak about it many times on the show. You have seen some great European nights. Maybe some of us younger bears haven't they, but I don't think I would have seen it in my lifetime. But I thank we Nacho Novo and a lot of the other great players that played for us in that run for me to get to see it as a major European competition, and just hope it's no more last, mate. And I don't think it will be.
Here, mate. Can you just give us a shout out, Ibrox?
Yeah, just another great show. Great to be back on. Some really great talking points, and we'll on the next match on Saturday.
Yep. Alan 63.
Aye. Mr. Murty, if you're listening in, mind and phone me tomorrow night. We've got to pick the right team for the game against Hearts, mate.
Alright. Here's your bet.
Well, since we're talking about him, I'll give my shout out to Nacho Novo. Hope he's getting better, and we're forever thankful for that trip he gave us. I just wish I was old enough when I was doing Manchester to truly appreciate what it meant. So, get better, Nacho Novo.
Ulster?
Yeah, just a shout out to everybody who's been listening, and I hope you enjoyed it.
Blue Shadow?
Aye, big shout out to wee Nacho. Best of health to you, wee man. And on hindsight, maybe it happened in the best place because there's somebody there to tell you to get your backside to hospital before it got any worse.
Blooming right, yeah.
Yep. Fox?
Good night, thanks for listening.
Bridgman?
Oh, what a smashing night tonight again. Good discussions, and some really good stuff about our team and the selection processes and so on. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. Really, really good. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, and particularly Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, every single one of us, keep it going for the Rangers and we Nacho Novo. Just keep it going because we need it.
Well said, Bridge. Can I thank everybody who took part in the call of the night? Boswell, True Blue, Ulster, Blue Shadow, Fox, Bridgman, Ayrshire Bear, the one and only Ibrox Loyal, and Alan 63. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 9 and 11 talking about all things Rangers. Take it away, Fox.
Every elder said the dismal of day off, and it's off to the match I go. Happily we wander down the Paisley Road, me and my wee pal George. We'll love to see the lasses with their blue scarves on, we'll love to hear the boys all roar. But I don't have to tell you that the best of all, we'll love to see the Rangers score. See Bundesliga